Well, if you saw my future plans video, then you know I am moving with my wife out of the country for a while, which is very exciting. And also why my background looks like a beige hellscape. These are going to be a little less structured. Just bear with me. There's not a lot I can do. I mean, there's a lot I could do, but there's not a lot I'm going to do. Hey, what's up? My name is John Bonjour. I am an artist and a film enthusiast. I have not drawn any art, but I would like to enthuse about some film in the grandest way that humans can possibly enthuse about film, which is the Oscars. Or if you don't believe in the Oscars and you think they're rigged, you are probably right, quite honestly, but that doesn't matter to me. Like, that is not important to my life. What is important to my life is that sometimes I'm right about what movies are good. Like I said, this is going to be a way less structured video than I normally do. I don't even have my glasses on, so you know how committed I am to this. I'm just going to run through some of the winners and give you my thoughts because I think that's interesting. If you don't think that's interesting, it's fair. I mean, I can't argue with that. I'm like a week late on this, so what are you going to do? We're going to work from the bottom up of this list. This is the official Oscars.org list, so you know it's real and important. Original screenplay, Anatomy of a Fall. Great, didn't see it. I'm glad that they won. Good for them. I've heard good things. Adapted screenplay, American Fiction won that one. Yep, don't disagree with that at all. I wouldn't give that to anybody else. Visual effects, Godzilla -1. Super happy to see that. A little bummed out that the Guardians 3 guys didn't get it, but I mean, can't really complain. Godzilla -1 had some incredible visual effects. It is funny to me that Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning got nominated for this because their whole campaign was like, look how few visual effects we've used. You can turn a ramp into some rocks, and I respect that about you. I wish I could do that, but that's not a skill I have. For sound, Zone of Interest, didn't see it. I'm sure it was great. I'm sure it was great. I love that they won that. I've heard great things. Again, I mean, like, it's the Oscars. You very rarely hear bad things. Live action short film. I didn't watch one of them. Didn't see a single one. I'm sure. I have no doubt that they are some of the greatest short films that have been produced by anyone. But short films really aren't my thing, which is ironic because I have a review of a short film coming out soon. But yeah, just short films are not really my jam. So I don't know. I'm sure these are great. I'm sure these are awesome. Same with animated short film. I haven't even heard of these. One of them is called Pachyderm, and I think that's very cute. I'd like to see that one. I won't, but I'd like to. If I'm just being honest with myself, it's just not going to happen. Now we get into some of them that I have some actual opinions on. So I promise this isn't going to be a 3-minute video. I do have some opinions. Production design, Poor Things, winning that. Yes, 100%. Chef's kiss. Wouldn't have changed a single thing. The sets on that thing are so immaculate and just insane. Like, that is one of the most impressive things about that film that stood out to me the whole time watching through it. We'd go to a new location and it would just be like a whole new experience for me. I can't stress it enough. I think that's tremendous. It is a huge shame, though, that this came out this year for Barbie, which would have won that any other year. I really do think that the Barbie Land production design is incredible. Like, it's really well done. It feels like a live action depiction of a Barbie playset. Super impressive, like amazing. I am blown away. And I'm sure there's people that are probably really frustrated that didn't win. But with Poor Things on the table like that, I mean, how could you not? Like, of course it's Poor Things. Some ones that I think are funny. Oppenheimer. It's just a field, my guy. Just a big field. That was mostly a joke. I'm sure that a lot went into the production design of like the town and all that, but also there's a lot of fields, so it's like kind of weird that would be nominated for that. Killers of the Flower Moon, didn't see it because it was too long. Sorry, Marty. Too long. It's not cinema to me. You know what is cinema? Avengers. Endgame, I think, is the same runtime. I can't imagine being the Barbie production design people, and you know how hard you hit it out of the park, and you're like, this is it. This is a shoe-in. This one, of all of them, of course we're gonna get that. And then Poor Things comes out, and you're like, well, shit. We almost had it. We would have got it. All right, what are we at here? Best Picture. We're gonna do Best Picture last because I have some real opinions on that one. Music Original Song was given to, what was I made for? Billie Eilish. Good for her. Good for her. Like, that's great. I'm excited for her. I'm glad that she's making it happen. It's cool that she won twice in a row, I'm pretty sure, because wasn't No Time to Die last year's? Great. Super excited for her. It's a great song. I hear it in just all sorts of targets, so that's a good sign when it makes it outside of that. I mean, that was true of the Shallows. Is that what it was called? The Shallows? The song from A Star Is Born, not the Blake Lively shark movie. Although I wish that had won Best Song. That would be incredible. Looking at what we have here, looking at the options, I think I think we all kind of knew that this was going to win that. The Flamin' Hot was not a chance in the world. It was just, it's so insane that got nominated for anything. Not just because it's not true, although don't get me wrong, there is that. That's a stupid, why would you make that? That's so dumb. Based on a lie, like what's the point of that? Why even make the movie if it's not actually what happened? Aside from that, though, if it were true, I could give it a little bit of a pass for kind of sticking to a normal narrative because it would be the truth. I can't even give it that because it's not true, so you just gave it a boring story. Just a boring, kind of bad movie. It's not terrible, it's just not good. This isn't a review of Flamin' Hot. I'm also very intrinsically linked to Flamin' Hot because that is my childhood snack. That is the snack. Let's don't limit it to childhood. That is my snack of choice without question. It's Flamin' Hot Cheetos. So I am upset that we got a Flamin' Hot Cheetos movie and it just beefed it. You just beefed it directly into the ground. I'm just Ken from Barbie. Wonderful performance, wonderful song. Not Oscar winning, shouldn't be Oscar winning, not going to win anything. Original score, this is the first one that I just think, it's a shame. Like I completely disagree with it. Oppenheimer won, and I just think Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny should have won. No, obviously Oppenheimer should have won that. I mean, like that's the only one that's made it into any reels or the public kind of understanding of songs, music as a whole. And it was just, it's incredible. It's a great score. So yeah, definitely give to that. Makeup and hairstyling, also going to Poor Things. Again, it's gotta suck to be everyone else. Makeup and hairstyling, I feel like, is a good award to give out to a movie that you think really deserves, deserves an Oscar, but couldn't quite make it in any of the other categories, something to honor something else, unless there's a standout like this. Something like a Suicide Squad. Not the good one, but the shitty one. That really should have got an Oscar. I think that's what their thought was that, man, that deserves an Oscar. International feature, Zone of Interest, didn't see it, looked sad. There's always one. Every year, every Oscars, there is one film that I just give myself a pass on. I don't watch all of them, but there's one for Best Picture that I just go, no, I just don't even have to try to make that happen. I don't have to. I'm sure that Zone of Interest is incredibly rousing. I'm sure it's beautiful and poignant and really emotional. I don't want to go through those emotions right now, and I give myself a pass. Everybody should have a get out of jail free card, and I used mine on Zone of Interest this year. But great that it won an international feature. I didn't see any of these, and I feel deeply, deeply ashamed about that, especially after that Avengers joke. But yeah, there's not a lot I can do about that. As far as editing goes, me personally, I probably would have given that to Holdovers. I'm kind of bummed out that Oppenheimer got it. But Oppenheimer did have some really solid editing. I can't really blame it for that. I will say, though, the one that I would give it to this year is Spider-Verse. It's so stupid that wasn't nominated for this at all. That is some of the best editing we have ever seen. Really dumb that that's not for here. Actually, I would also give it to that Ninja Turtles movie. I thought that had really rock solid editing. So kind of dumb that Oppenheimer got this and that those didn't even make it. But Oppenheimer had decent editing, so I'm not going to get upset about it. Documentary short film, two things that I don't really focus on, documentaries and short films. Documentary feature film, also did not watch any of these. Don't really care. Directing, Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan. Sure, it's good. Beautifully directed. Out of the ones that they gave us, Yorgos Lanthimos did an incredible job with Poor Things, but I also think Christopher Nolan did just a spectacular job with Oppenheimer. Costume design, Poor Things. Are we circling back? Cinematography, Oppenheimer. Maybe we're not. Anyway, Poor Things, great across the board. Cinematography, Oppenheimer. Sure, it's fine. Animated feature film. Here's something that's interesting. Boy and the Heron. Yep. Fair. Fully fair. It was between that and Spider-Verse. I would have been perfectly fine if either of those got it. The fact that Elemental is on this list is just... it's unconscionable to me that anyone would even suggest that should be nominated for an award. Supporting actress Divine Joy Randolph, obviously. I think I even said that in my review for Holdovers. Like, yeah, she's got that in the bag. Actress in a leading role, Emma Stone, Poor Things. Choice. So good. She killed it. That is such a specific role, and I don't think anybody else could have played it the exact same way that she did. Supporting actor. I will have beef with this one. This is one of them that I have a great distinct beef with. Not that Robert Downey Jr. did a bad job in Oppenheimer. He did a wonderful job in Oppenheimer. it just wasn't like mind-blowingly good. I would have given this to Sterling K. Brown, Mark Ruffalo, and Ryan Gosling before I gave it to Robert Downey Jr. Again, not that he did a bad job, but all of those performances were more memorable, more important, and more out of their wheelhouse, I felt. And so it was like, yeah, Robert Downey Jr. can play a guy who's kind of an asshole. Yeah, we know he's good at that. That's kind of his jam. Actor in a leading role, I would have given it to Paul Giamatti. That's okay. I loved The Holdovers, so I understand that I'm a little biased on that. I have no problem with Cillian Murphy getting that for Oppenheimer. I also think Jeffrey Wright did a great job in American Fiction. Not Oscars great, but I think he did a great job. I think he was spectacular in it. Now we're going to get to the big kahuna, the best picture. The winner was Oppenheimer, as I'm sure you've heard by now. It's fine. I can't even blame them for choosing Oppenheimer because it was a really great film. Like, it was really well done. I'm very encouraged that this won over Barbie because I think it's kind of ironic because they came out on the same weekend, but I think it was clearly better than Barbie just as a film. I don't think Oppenheimer was perfect. I think there were moments where, especially like kind of thinking back through and like watching some of it again, there are moments where it kind of loses me just a tiny little bit, not completely. To me, I think Poor Things, The Holdovers, maybe even Past Lives, I think all three of those should have had a solid shot at it. I don't think American Fiction should have won. I don't know if there was a perfect movie last year, so I'm not entirely bummed out by that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was. All that to say, I think the Oscars did a pretty good job this year. I didn't get a chance to watch them, but I've seen some of the clips from it, and I think that it was a very fun-looking show. I think they did a good job. It makes me want to tune in next year, which, if I'm being honest, last year's didn't really make me want to do that. Yeah, good show. Solid show all around. Props to John Cena for just being full butt-ass naked. I love that. I really do. I respect that about him. He's just got such an energy. I really do like John Cena. That's not really the point of this, though. I'm going to bounce. This was fun. Let me know if you want me to do more of these kinds of videos. I can just ramble. I can ramble forever if you want me to. Thank you for watching this video and checking out my channel. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on movies, comics, TV shows, award shows, or John Cena, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. Would you like me to review next? Or do none of those things because I am not your dad. That's actually the only thing that matters in my life. Did you see that? There was doesn't matter.